What is up, Root and Rise Fitness family? So, we are gearing up for our new cycle that drops on Friday, February 6th. This cycle is called Elevate. Our only goal for this cycle primarily is to keep showing up and keep the momentum that you started from the last cycle into this one. Our KPIs that we're working towards over these 6 weeks is to find your 3 rep max on your bench press and to find out how many push ups you can do consecutively without breaking. Now, here's the deal. I happen to know that I have a few folks that are working through or navigating upper body discomfort. And for you guys, this video is going to be really, really important because we're going to talk about how to pull back, where to pull back, and how to navigate this cycle while being judicious in what we do on the upper body. Okay, so first things first, day one is our upper body day. This is where our primary lift is our chest press. Now, if you're working with limited weight selection here, um, remember that you can start this cycle on the floor, practicing your chest press from the floor, pushing your back down with your knees bent. And if you do not have dumbbells that challenge you, I would encourage you to add a pause at the bottom of your chest press when your arms are down and when the weights are tight towards your chest. That is where you will pause for anywhere between 1 and 3 seconds before pressing back up. Make a note so that you know week over week what you did to modify to make this more challenging for you if you are someone who really only has access to 10, 12, or 15-pound dumbbells. Everybody else, follow the instructions as prescribed, remembering that week one should be easy. This should be a walk in the park. You just busted your ass at last cycles last week. I want you to be able to take this week to figure out how to modify and where you need to change the program to make it work for you. After your chest press, we're introducing the Z press, where you're sitting down with your legs out in front of you. This really challenges your core. Make sure that you are keeping your core braced as you're pressing. If you do not have a bench for our bench rows, remember that you can always do a standing bent over row instead. Videos for that are on my YouTube channel, which is where you are currently watching this video. Just always make a note for yourself so you know what you did last time. Kneeling offset push-ups are incredibly challenging. If you have any sort of upper body injury, you will be doing any variation of a push-up that you can do without pain. That could be a wall push-up, that could be a hands elevated on a surface push-up, that could be a knee push-up, or that could be holding a plank. Yeah? That way you're managing fatigue and pain without causing too much stress. We have tricep dips in here. I know some of you are marking your tricep dips. Do the best you can. This is more just for a range of motion practice anyway. So even if these are not technically hard for you, stay the course for at least week one. I have thrown in here the opportunity to practice pull-ups. So if that's of interest to you, by all means, follow the instructions here. Otherwise, it literally says optional. I understand that not everybody has access to a pull-up bar, so you can absolutely feel free to skip. Day two is our lower body day. Again, I happen to know that many of you are working with limited weight for your squats, so some of this will not apply to you, meaning taking 25% from your 1 rep max that you ended last cycle with. You will obviously not be doing that. You use the heaviest weight that you have available to you, and just like we did on our upper body day, apply a pause. So at the bottom of your squat, hold for anywhere between 1 and 3 seconds. Make a note for yourself so that you know how long you are pausing for, and then drive through your heels to stand back up. That will help you continue to progress in the right direction. We have RDLs as a paired exercise after this. In week 1 or 2, if you are doing an RDL, you are required to send me a video. Otherwise, you are skipping this exercise. Last year, when we ran this program, I had a bunch of folks who this did not quite click, and I didn't know until it was towards the end of the cycle. So if you are not sending me videos, you are not doing this exercise. I love you so much. You can, however, do any form of dead bug that you prefer. We have a weighted hold variation this cycle, but as always, if you don't like this core exercise, you're welcome to swap in any core exercise that you do. We finish this out with split squats, your choice, racked or unracked, feet on the floor, and hip thrusts. Again, for our hip thrusts, another place to employ either a pause tempo, just like you've done with your chest press and your squat, if you have maxed out the weights that you have available, or you can explore a different setup depending on what you have access to. So 2 feet on the floor are always going to be the easiest hip thrusts. Single leg hip thrusts are a nice progression from that. Doing them on a bench is a third progression to make these more challenging. If you max out all of that, your options are then to either add reps and keep going until failure, or if you have access to a barbell or a hip thrust machine, you will now sub that in here. We end our lower body day with conditioning. I love you so much. Have fun with this one. And then our last day is technically a secondary upper body day with a little bit of lower body thrown in there. So our primary focus is push up. Again, for my folks that have shoulder or arm problems, if you are not following a 3-day a week program, I would recommend that perhaps you skip this workout and instead this cycle just focus on the 2 other days and the mobility day. There's no reason while you are injured anyway that you should be lifting 3 times a week. You can always message me if you have questions about your cadence or your schedule. I've listed out your push-up options here. Follow the instructions, do what you can. We're pairing these with marches, and many of you know that my biggest pet peeve when it comes to marches is your pacing. Some of y'all are marching like you are running away from zombies. Go slow. Slow and steady wins the race because we want this to target your core. For step ups, if you do not have the ability to do a proper step up, like you don't have a stable surface, you can always substitute in a reverse lunge to a balance at the top. Video for that is on my YouTube channel, or you can message me and I can send it to you. But that is the substitution if you do not have access to an elevated surface. Similarly, the Copenhagen side plank is very challenging and it requires access, again, to an elevated surface. If you're unable to do this, you can sub in any side plank variation that you prefer. Those are all on my YouTube channel, or you can hold a regular plank. That is the last option though. I would much prefer that we get some sort of side body party going on. Use your messenger if you're not really sure what a substitution for you could be. We have squat thrusts in this program for the first time in a while. I want these squat thrusts to be fast, snappy, and challenge your cardio capacity. So especially in week 1, make sure that you're picking a little bit of a lighter weight so that you can film yourself and send it to me so I can check your pacing and how fast you're moving. And we finish off with a plank hold, a carryover from last cycle. Along with this program, this weighted program, we've included some cardio. I know many of you have cardio plans already. Everything that's in here is just suggested. But again, if you are injured, I would also highly recommend that somehow, some way, you focus on the mobility day that is included in this program. You should probably be lifting only once or twice a week to manage whatever injury you have and add in your mobility. As always, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to message me. I only know what's going on when I hear from you. And I will also say at this time of year, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I'm really grateful to have so many of you guys running these programs. That's super, super exciting. Stay on top of me if I owe you something. There's no such thing as messaging me too many times. And it's really helpful for me to prioritize who needs something immediately first. You guys are crushing this, and I can't wait to see where you take Elevate. Good job, guys.